want y'all to know that I'm terrible at golf. The fruit was the whole point of why I even rode the bike down here, outside of just the view itself. So is the Pocket 3 worth buying in 2025? Let's talk about it. Now, since I've been back vlogging, the Pocket 3 is actually what I've been using primarily. There have been shots and things that I have thrown in vlogs from my Canon R5, but for the most part, exclusively, I've been using the Pocket 3. And the reason being is because of the convenience, but before I get into all of that, let's just start with the price. Now, when it first came out, it was a little bit over $500, somewhere in that ballpark, and that was just for the Pocket itself. Not sure if it came with the case or whatever, but that was just for the Pocket itself. And then there was the Creator Bundle, or is the Creator Bundle, that comes with a microphone, a DJI microphone, a carrying case, a cover that you can put the Pocket in, a battery grip, and an extra little mount thing that goes to it. And it has a 1/4-20 under the bottom if you don't want to use the battery grip, which also has a 1/4-20 under the bottom. And then it puts the USB-C charging port in like a better place because it's actually up under the Pocket. If you need to charge it, it's just kind of weird. Recently, and as we all know, the tariffs went into effect, which affected pricing. And now the regular Pocket is actually like $800 now, $700-800. And then the Creator Bundle is upwards of $1,000 or even more. On DJI's website, it's sold out, and if I'm not mistaken, it's $1,000. I'll put it up on the screen if I can find it. And then on Amazon, it's $1,000 plus. At this point, if you're gonna do that, you might as well get you an entry-level mirrorless camera. ZVE10 is somewhere in that ballpark. A Canon R50 somewhere in that ballpark. I mean, it's cool that the Pocket comes with the microphone and the carrying case and those things, but depending on what you're getting this for, if you're doing videography, I'm definitely leaning towards the mirrorless. The mirrorless side, this wouldn't even be a conversation for me, but a lot more content creators are popping up just across different fields, whether they're small business owners or people that are just getting into content in general. And the Pocket could be a viable option. It has like a little tripod feet. That's another thing that I forgot to mention, that, you know, you can set it on things, it'll track you. You can, you know, do different things in terms of being just a content creator in general. But for videographers' sake, it's definitely not the best buy. If anything, I mean, for me personally, I speak for myself, I can't speak for everybody else, but I got it for BTS, and then the plus side is it just turned into a vlogging camera, which is super easy. You know, triple tap the joystick, it turns around, you put it in selfie mode, you can see yourself on screen, and, you know, all is right with the world. For content creators, that could be perfect. For videographers, you can get you a quick little talking piece off, or if you're in a place that you don't want to bring big gear, big setup, you know, a Canon R5 with a big mic on it, or, you know, a A7 IV with a big mic on it. You don't want to do all of that, you could bring the Pocket. So that's my use case for it. So the real question becomes, what are you going to do with the camera? Is gimbal in the camera, active track, battery grip, coming with a microphone, and just these different things, are they going to be of use for you, or are they not going to be of use for you? That's kind of what you got to figure out. But for me, if I didn't already have it, I bought mine before the whole price thing went up. Knowing that the price thing went up, I probably wouldn't buy it now. No, actually I would still buy it now. for the same reason that I have it for. BTS and then vlogging with it would be like that extra sort of icing on the cake, but I'd still use it for BTS just because I'm not always I can't always have people come out and, you know, get footage. The budget doesn't allow for it. I may have to get an extra ticket and the person doesn't want to pay, the client doesn't want to get the extra ticket for that person to do BTS or whatever. I could bring the Pocket, set it up, have it track me, get a couple shots, just so I could show you guys what's happening and I could have some content. What are you really buying for that price outside of just a 1-inch sensor and it being compact and that you can put it in your pocket? It's convenience. You can put it in your backpack. If you wear a crossbody, you can put it in that. You can, if your pockets are big enough, because that case that it comes with is kind of bulky. But if you got big pockets, you can just put it in your pocket, take it out, you know, get your shot, do whatever you need to do. The speed and convenience is unmatched versus me having this R5 and I got to take that out of my backpack, or if I'm, you know, holding it in my hand. Big setup, it, you know, draws attention, and, you know, some people don't really care about that. I'm starting not to care about that, but even still, it's just like, it just draws a lot of attention versus the Pocket. It's like real small. You could do it, you know, get your shot and be on your way. And the audio is actually pretty solid, even if you don't get the creator bundle. The back mic, when you have it in selfie mode, is actually pretty solid, which is what I've been using a lot in my vlogs because I don't always remember to carry the mic with me. Another thing I would take into consideration when buying is if you care about the aesthetics of your shot and you want shallow depth of field on every shot, you can get some sort of shallow depth of field with the Pocket, but you got to be like super close to the subject. I believe it is a f2 in the Pocket, but if you care about your aesthetics, I'm going with a mirrorless interchangeable lens every time. Now, in the world of aesthetics, let me not make this seem like the Pocket can't get dope shots, because it can, and I have gotten pretty good shots, especially if you know how to grade it. You shoot it in D-Log M and you know how to grade it and bring it back to life, and you compose your shots, you know, pretty well. I'm not gonna say it looks like any other camera, but it looks pretty damn good. I went out, the shots actually that I have in this video, I went out on Saturday. I was riding my bike, and it's a spot that I always wanted to stop at, but in the car it's kind of weird to, you know, pull over because you're still blocking the lane. There's a couple of driveways, but they're like gated off, so you can't really like sit to the side the way you would want to. So since I was on my bike and I was headed home, I just decided to stop, and I, you know, got these shots that I'm showing you guys, and you know, I was pretty happy about it. I chose to go more for framing and whatnot versus like trying to show off the gimbal and things like that. Speaking of the gimbal, one thing that I need to mention: do not, and I mean do not, clip the Pocket to your bike or anything that's gonna catch shakes really easy. In my case, I had it clipped to my bike and they catch everything, and since it's a gimbal and it's trying to compensate for movement, the shake, oh my god, it looks crazy. If you have a Canon R5, R6 and the 16 mil and the IBIS is on and you know them wobbles in the corner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's actually 10 times worse than that. It's just really bad, but that's my fault though. But don't do that. You can put it on like a car where it's not gonna catch like a lot of bumps and it rolls smooth. Anything that rolls smooth, you straight. If you catch a lot of bumps, the gimbal is gonna, the footage is gonna look crazy. You know, just had to give a disclaimer on that. I think another thing that I like about the Pocket 3 is the fact that it don't take a whole lot to get shots that I wanna get, in terms of like, I want to sit down and say something to the camera. I don't have to have my, you know, travel tripod and, you know, microphone, make sure that it's charged and this, that, the third. All I gotta do is make sure that the Pocket is charged and I'm good to go. Like I said, the camera on the backside where the screen is, the camera on the backside is pretty good, all things considered. I mean, would it be better to have the DJI mic with me? Yeah, but it's not always ideal. It's not always charged. I take different bags every time I go somewhere. It may be in another bag, I forget. it's always good to know that I can just get some solid audio out of it. But another thing is, when I'm sitting down at a table, I can put it on the table, put it on active track, and it'll, you know, point up at me and have me in the middle, or if I choose to put me to the left or the right, and I can frame the shot that way, versus again having to set up the tripod, this, that. It's taking up room, it's creating attention, unwanted attention, unnecessary, you know, stares and whatnot. And again, I mean, who cares? But at the same time, I care, because like if I'm at Chipotle just trying to get some food real quick, and yo guys, boom, want to say this, that, and the third, and then I can put the pocket back in my pocket and, you know, kick rocks or just eat my food, versus this, and I got to break it back down, put it back in my backpack, and then eat my food or whatever. So I think the one thing that I can say the most throughout this video is the speed and convenience of this camera, while the price is, you know, hefty now, considering what it is. I think for content creators, it's probably still a good buy if you're solely using it for, you know, like content creation and not trying to do, you know, videography with it. If you want the super cinematic look or depth of field, or just a higher quality image, then for sure go with the mirrorless camera. But I really, really like my pocket. I didn't shoot this with the pocket, by the way, but everything that you saw prior was shot with the pocket. Now, while I didn't lay this out in a listicle sense of like price, this, that, whatever, hopefully y'all still got some sort of value out of it, out of the video. Ultimately, I would say, just think about what you're buying it for. Look at things in that price range, and then kind of compare and contrast what you would use the pocket for versus what you would use another option for. Take into consideration that if you do get the creator bundle, you do get a microphone, you get an extra battery grip, you get solid audio without that mic. So if you did choose to buy just the pocket itself, you would be able to vlog or do whatever you want to do with some sort of solid audio. Obviously, it would be better, especially if you're doing something with your camera and, you know, using the audio from somebody else, then it would be better to have the mic. But just take into consideration what you're buying the camera for. Again, I bought it for BTS. And then ultimately it got me out of my rut with vlogging, because I didn't want to bring a big setup and do all of these extra things to get a shot. Now, in some cases, I'm gonna bring the big setup because there's a bigger goal that I have in terms of like what I'm trying to capture. But for the most part, everyday things, I just take my pocket. I keep it on me even if I don't use it. So just in case I see a shot that I want to get, or something that crosses my mind that I want to talk about, I'll talk about it real quick and then see if I want to redo it or if I just like it as is. But that speed and convenience is unbeatable. And then in terms of charging, I guess I should talk about that real quick. It fast charges, or it has fast charging, so it doesn't tell you like you can be 0 to 80 in 30 minutes, but I just did 10 minutes yesterday and it got me about like 25%. So give or take, you can go from 0 to back up and running in 20 minutes at bare minimum. But I'd probably say full charge like 30, 40 minutes. I keep a battery bank on me. I use the battery grip, and then I run that out. I'll charge the battery grip on the battery bank. A lot of battery stuff, but I charge the grip with the battery bank. The pocket still has juice. By the time it even gets close to low on juice, I can plug back up the battery. I mean, not the battery bank, but the grip, and then I'm straight. So I never run out of battery with the pocket. I've never run out of battery with the pocket. It's never anything that I've had to think about. But even without a battery bank, you can get some hours, like some solid hours out of it, as long as your grip is full and the pocket is full. But if you got a battery bank on you and a USB-C cord, you straight. But y'all let me know in the comments if y'all would buy the Pocket 3 still now that it's gone up in price. Is it worth it? Do y'all have one? Did you catch it before? But yeah, man, before I get to rambling, Like and subscribe for the good vibes.